What does it mean to be chosen? To feel as though the universe has singled you out for a higher purpose, only to find that the very weight of that purpose becomes a constant source of confusion and isolation. You are not like the others. You know it. The world is different when you're a chosen one, but why does it often feel like a curse rather than a blessing? For many, being chosen is a deeply spiritual experience, one that carries an immense sense of responsibility, but this responsibility can be suffocating. You are expected to walk a path that others cannot even comprehend. While the rest of the world moves in synchrony with the mundane, you are left to confront the unseen forces that guide your every step. You may find yourself longing for the simplicity of ordinary life, wishing you could simply disappear into the crowd. But you can't. The calling has already been made, and the journey has begun. It is not an easy path to walk. The weight of expectations, both external and internal, can become overwhelming. The constant pressure to fulfill your spiritual mission may leave you feeling like you're standing at the edge of a cliff, unable to move forward or retreat. This is the paradox of being chosen. You feel simultaneously privileged and burdened. Chosen ones often experience a profound sense of being disconnected from the world around them. It's as though they are living in two different realities at once. On one hand, you feel deeply connected to something greater, an unseen force or purpose pulling you toward a higher truth. On the other, you are acutely aware of how out of place you feel in the day-to-day interactions of ordinary life. This disconnect is not just a feeling, it is a spiritual condition. You see the world through a different lens. While others are preoccupied with the material aspects of life, money, status, relationships, you feel an inner pull towards something more. You may find it hard to relate to people who are caught up in the chaos of the physical realm, for your mind often drifts toward deeper questions about existence, purpose, and the nature of the soul. At the same time, those around you may not understand your inner struggles. To them, you might seem distant, aloof, or even selfish. But the truth is, you're not disconnected because you want to be. You're disconnected because you have been called to a higher mission, one that requires you to break free from the illusion of the material world. It's a painful paradox, and one that chosen ones must navigate throughout their lives. You must walk in both worlds, while never truly feeling at home in either. To be a chosen one is to engage in a constant spiritual battle. It is a battle not with external forces, but with the very nature of your own mind and soul. You are caught in a tension between your higher calling and the limitations of your human form. This battle often manifests as inner conflict. You may feel torn between the desire to fulfill your spiritual purpose and the yearning for personal peace and comfort. The higher path you are called to often demands sacrifices of time, energy, relationships, and even personal desires. You may find yourself at odds with your own emotions, questioning whether you're truly capable of fulfilling the destiny that has been set before you. The spiritual battle is not one that can be fought in isolation. It is a battle fought within, but it also plays out in the world around you. The universe will often throw challenges your way to test your resolve. These challenges may appear as obstacles in your career, relationships, or health, but they are not random. They are the trials that help you grow, forcing you to confront your deepest fears, doubts, and insecurities. These trials are necessary for your spiritual evolution. In some ways, the battle is about reclaiming your power, the power to transcend the illusions of the ego and step fully into your divine purpose. It is about overcoming the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, and the fear of being misunderstood. It is about embracing your true self, even when that means standing alone against the current of society's expectations. One of the most profound struggles that chosen ones face is the battle with ego and identity. When you are chosen for a higher purpose, your sense of self can become distorted. The ego, which is constantly seeking validation and recognition, may try to take ownership of the spiritual mission, believing that it is special or important. The more your ego feeds off this sense of being chosen, the more disconnected you become from your true self. The ego will try to convince you that the path you walk is a path of superiority, that you are better or more enlightened than others. This is a dangerous trap. To walk the path of spiritual awakening is not to elevate yourself above others, but to humble yourself in service to the divine. When the ego takes hold, it clouds your judgment and creates division, both within yourself and with others. To overcome this battle with ego, you must be willing to surrender. Surrendering does not mean giving up, but rather letting go of the need to control your spiritual journey. It means accepting that you are not the creator of your path, but a vessel through which divine energy flows. The moment you release the need for recognition or validation is the moment you begin to step into true alignment with your higher purpose. The struggle with identity is equally profound. As a chosen one, you may question who you truly are. You may feel as though your true self is hidden beneath layers of conditioning, expectations, and past trauma. The process of spiritual awakening is one of peeling back these layers, of rediscovering the essence of your soul. This journey is not always clear or easy. There may be periods of confusion, frustration, and doubt. You may find yourself questioning the very nature of your existence. But this is part of the process. The spiritual battle is not a linear path, but a winding road filled with detours, setbacks, and moments of illumination. One of the most isolating aspects of being chosen is the loneliness that often accompanies the journey. As a chosen one, you may find yourself surrounded by people, yet still feel utterly alone. This isolation is not a punishment, but a necessary part of the spiritual process. In order to fulfill your divine mission, you must often walk a path that others cannot follow. This can create a sense of disconnection from your peers, as they may not understand the depth of your experiences or the nature of your calling. You may feel as though you are living in a world that does not recognize your true worth or purpose. At times, this isolation can be excruciating. You may long for companionship, understanding, and support. But it is important to remember that this loneliness is not permanent. It is a phase of your journey, one that allows you to strengthen your connection with your higher self and with the divine. The purpose of this isolation is to help you find your inner strength, to learn to rely on your own intuition, and to build a solid foundation for your spiritual work. The truth is, you are not alone. While it may seem like no one understands you, the universe is always by your side. You are supported by unseen forces, guides, angels, ancestors, who are walking with you every step of the way. And when the time is right, you will find kindred souls who share your vision and your purpose. At some point in your journey, the haze will begin to lift, and you will experience a shift in perception so profound that it feels like the entire universe is aligning in that very moment. It is as though the pieces of a puzzle scattered across your soul suddenly lock into place, revealing the grand design you've been struggling to see. The confusion, the moments of isolation, the deep yearning for a connection you couldn't articulate, they all begin to make sense. It is a moment of awakening, a moment when you truly begin to understand why you are chosen. This awakening may come swiftly, a sudden flash of clarity that strikes like lightning, illuminating every corner of your being. Or it may arrive slowly, creeping into your consciousness over time, like a gentle unfolding of a flower. Either way, the experience is undeniable. You begin to realize that your journey, every step, every struggle, every challenge, has been leading to this very moment. The realization that you are not lost, not broken, not abandoned, but that you have been on the exact path you needed to be on in order to awaken to your true purpose. You were never meant to fit into the mold the world tried to cast for you. You were never meant to walk a path dictated by the expectations of society, family, or even your own mind. You were meant to walk a path of your own creation, a path that calls you to rise above the limitations of the physical world and tap into the eternal wellspring of your soul's potential. The moment you awaken to this truth, it feels like a revelation, a remembrance of something you've always known deep within, but never fully understood. At this point, the weight of your feelings of being lost and disconnected begin to transform. What once seemed like isolation now takes on a new meaning. The disconnection was never a punishment or a sign that something was wrong with you. It was, in fact, the very process of preparation. You were being called, not to fit in, but to stand apart. You were being prepared to see the world through a lens that few ever will, a lens that will allow you to understand, heal, and guide others on their own journeys. The disconnection you felt was simply the distance between who you once were and who you are becoming. It was the space in which your soul was evolving, shedding its layers of illusion and ego to make room for the truth of your divine calling. This is the awakening. The moment you realize that you were never chosen to be extraordinary for the sake of self-aggrandizement or pride. You were chosen because the world needs you, because there are forces beyond the physical realm that are calling upon you to rise to the occasion. Your purpose is not to serve your ego, not to gain fame or approval, not to build a life based on superficial desires. Your purpose is to be of service, to offer the gifts that only you can offer, to bring light into places that have long been dark, and to stand firm in the face of adversity, even when it feels like the weight of the world is upon you. In the moment of awakening, you understand that the struggles you faced, those moments when you felt abandoned, misunderstood, or uncertain, were never obstacles placed in your way to punish you. They were the very trials you needed to face in order to prepare you for the work you are here to do. You were being forged in the fire of adversity, your spirit being tested and strengthened for the challenges that lie ahead. The pain, the confusion, the loneliness. They were not signs of failure, but of growth. You were not weak or lost. You were being transformed into something far greater than you ever imagined. This realization allows you to shed the old narrative of limitation and fear, the lies that once held you back about your worth, your capability, your place in the world start to unravel. You can see with clarity that these were never truths, only stories that you told yourself to keep you small. The awakening is the moment when you stop identifying with your past struggles, your pain, and your doubts, and begin to see yourself as the powerful, purposeful being you were always meant to be. The disconnect you felt, the sense of being lost, it wasn't your fault. It was the process of spiritual evolution, a necessary phase on the path to discovering your true self. As you step into this newfound awareness, you also begin to understand the importance of your mission. It is not enough to simply awaken to your purpose. You must now step fully into it. The world is in desperate need of souls who are willing to confront the darkness, who can stand as beacons of light in the midst of uncertainty. You are called to be one of those souls. Your purpose is not to escape the chaos or hide away from the world. It is to face the challenges of life head-on and shine your light, even when it feels like doing so might make you a target. You are here to be the change the world so desperately needs. The truth is, the world is crying out for those who can bring balance, healing, and clarity. It is crying out for those who are willing to look beyond the surface, to see the deeper truths that others often overlook. You are here not because you are special in the way the world defines special, but because you are needed in ways that are beyond comprehension. You carry within you a wisdom, a strength, and a light that can bring transformation to those who are ready to receive it. This moment of awakening is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of a new chapter. The moment you realize your true purpose, the moment you step into your power, is when the real work begins. You will be tested. You will face obstacles. You will have to confront parts of yourself that you may not want to face. But each challenge is an opportunity to further align yourself with the divine force that is guiding you. Each step forward is a step toward becoming the person you were always meant to be. And as you continue along your path, you will find that you are no longer alone. Those who are meant to walk with you, those who are resonating with the same truth and energy, will find their way into your life. You will meet like-minded souls who understand the depth of your experience and the importance of the work you are here to do. In this way, the loneliness and isolation you once felt will begin to dissolve, replaced by a profound sense of unity and connection with others who share your mission. The spiritual battle is not one you fight with the intention of winning in the traditional sense, nor is it a battle with external forces or enemies you can see and touch. It is not a war fought on a battlefield where victory is measured by the defeat of others. Instead, it is a war fought within, the war between your highest self and the illusions that have bound you to the physical world. It is the war between who you have been told you are and who you are meant to become. It is a struggle that shakes the very core of your being and challenges every belief you have held about yourself. But it is ultimately a battle that leads to profound transformation. Through each trial, each moment of doubt, confusion, and fear, you are being shaped, sculpted, and refined into a vessel of divine light. This spiritual battle is not one that ends in defeat, though it may often feel like you are fighting a losing battle. The struggle can feel unending, as though every step forward is met with a setback or a new obstacle. There may be times when you feel completely overwhelmed, consumed by darkness, as if the weight of the world is pressing down upon you. But in those moments, know this: the struggle is not in vain. It is not punishment or a sign that you are failing. It is the process through which you are being prepared for something far greater than you can currently comprehend. Every difficulty you face, every moment of pain or confusion, is refining your spirit and preparing you to step into your true power. You are not fighting against the world, as it often feels. The true battle is not with external forces, not with other people or with circumstances, no matter how difficult or unfair they may seem. The real battle is against the illusions that bind you, the fears, doubts, and attachments that have kept you from seeing the truth of who you are. These illusions are what keep you trapped in a cycle of confusion and suffering, convincing you that you are not enough or that you are unworthy of the light that is calling you forward. But these illusions are not permanent. They are not the truth of who you are. And in time, you will see that the battle is not to destroy these illusions, but to transcend them. When you step fully into your purpose, you will come to realize that the battle you have fought was never about defeating external forces. It was always about transcending the limitations of your own mind. The chosen ones are not just warriors who fight with swords or shields. They are alchemists, masters of transformation. They are the ones who take the raw materials of their pain, their suffering, their wounds, and through the fire of their spiritual journey, transform them into something higher, something of greater value. The pain of the past becomes the wisdom of the present. The darkness you have traversed becomes the light that you can now offer to others. The victory is not in the destruction of enemies or in defeating the challenges you face. The true victory lies in the transcendence of your own limitations. You come to see that the battle was never about winning or losing in the traditional sense. It was about awakening to the truth of your own nature. It was about shedding the layers of fear, doubt, and conditioning that had kept you from understanding your divine essence. The victory is in the realization that you have always had within you everything you needed to rise above the struggle. The war you have fought was never about external forces. It was about the war within, the war between who you thought you were and who you truly are. As you rise above the struggles that once seemed insurmountable, you will find peace. The internal battles will lose their intensity, for you will have transcended the illusions that once held you in their grip. You will no longer feel lost or disconnected, because you will have come to understand that the journey you have been on was not one of aimless wandering. You were never truly lost. You were simply in the process of remembering who you are. The chosen ones are not lost. They are in the process of remembering themselves, their divine nature, their true essence, the infinite power that lies dormant within them, waiting to be awakened. In the end, the spiritual battle is not a fight against the world, but a fight to awaken to the truth of your own soul. It is a fight to remember that you are not just a physical being, limited by time and space. You are a spiritual being, connected to the infinite, capable of transforming yourself and the world around you. The battle is one of self-realization. It is about understanding that the power you seek, the peace you desire, the light you long to see in the world already resides within you. The chosen ones in their journey come to understand that they are not separate from the divine. They are one with the light, one with the universal consciousness that flows through all things. The struggle, the pain, and the confusion were all part of the process of stripping away the layers that kept them from seeing this truth. And as they rise above their fears and doubts, they begin to embody the light they have always carried within. There is a point in the journey where you will look back on the trials you have faced and see them not as burdens, but as blessings. You will see that they were the crucible through which your spirit was tested and purified, the pain you endured was the fire in which you were forged into something greater. You will realize that without the struggle, without the battle, you would not have arrived at the place of peace and understanding you stand in now. The spiritual war was never about defeating enemies. It was about awakening to the truth of your own soul and realizing that, in the end, you were always meant to be the light. The spiritual battle is not one you fight alone. It is a journey of self-discovery, of overcoming the illusions that keep you trapped in the cycle of confusion and fear. As a chosen one, you have been called to walk a path that few dare to tread, but it is a path that leads to enlightenment, liberation, and the realization of your true purpose. Embrace the journey, for it is the greatest adventure of all, and remember, you are never truly lost. You are simply finding your way back to the light that has always been within you. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the spiritual battles of the chosen ones. If this message resonated with you, share this video with others who may need guidance, and subscribe to our channel for more teachings on the mysteries of existence.